What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play Pokemon Black and White 2. In the last episode, we finished up Route 14, the little sidetrack route just south of Lacunosa Town, with much difficulty, as I had one of the worst rotation battles I have ever had in the history of Let's Playing. We also made it here to Route 13, and in the last episode, I forwent talking about some of the new Pokemon that can be found on this route. So as I get into this battle with this Parasol lady, I'm going to go over them because there are so many to talk about. And those new Pokemon are Tangela, Pelipper, Absol, Lunatone, and Solrock. Tangela is a pure Grass-type Pokemon that evolves into Tangrowth when leveled up knowing Ancient Power. AKA, this Pokemon evolves at level 40. Tangrowth is actually a stat monster with very good defenses and HP, shockingly high special attack, and also great physical attack. Where it lacks is in the special defense and speed department, so you have to gauge what sort of Pokemon you're going up against in case it can take advantage of one of its 4 weaknesses. Flying and Bug types might not be so bad most of the time, but Fire and Ice types will often ruin this thing's day. In all other cases, this is a great Pokemon that stands right alongside, if not above, Lilligant for second best pure Grass-type Pokemon in the entire Unova region. And some might argue it's even better than superior. My biggest issue personally with this Pokemon is just the moves it learns while leveling up, which isn't much. With TMs like Earthquake, Sludge Bomb, Energy Ball, and Brick Break at its disposal, your energy is better spent here than trying to wait for it to learn Block or Ring Out or Power Whip. Pelipper is a water and flying type Pokemon that is the final form of Wingull, which it evolves from at level 25. While it only possesses a couple of weaknesses and an interesting suite of moves, there is almost nothing about this Pokemon statistically that I would classify as good. For the kind of Pokemon it is, the fact that physical defense is its highest stat almost seems like a slap in the face, and its HP is so poor that it doesn't matter anyway. Not to mention, it isn't very fast. It doesn't learn any truly powerful moves until level 58, and I mean it truly when I say this Pokemon sits down in the Sunflora class of some of the worst fully evolved Pokemon in the entire series. There's just not really anything to work with here. I mean, sure, it can learn Hurricane, but so can Swanna. And with the same typing and much better stats to work with, that's a Pokemon that does what Pelipper is capable of so much better in every single way. And Swanna ain't even all that great. Don't put Pelipper on your team unless you want a handicap, I guess. Absol is a pure Dark-type Pokemon that doesn't evolve. Another throwback to my Pokemon Emerald Let's Play, let me just say how much I love this Pokemon, although I definitely have a bit of a bias due to how awesome its design is. But its stats are actually pretty great. While this is another all-offense, no-defense type of Pokemon, its speed is decent enough that you can work with this. Physical attack is all this Pokemon is about, so just put as much as you can into speed to make sure this thing goes first, and then boost its critical hit ratio with a hold item, its Super Luck ability that was added in Gen 4, and Slash and Night Slash and Psycho Cut away. I'm definitely overselling this Pokemon a little because its defenses are downright bad, and as a Pokemon with no evolution, it doesn't have amazing overall base stats, but it's definitely more than usable, and even can be downright good in some teams. But I will concede this thing isn't anywhere near its full potential. Not until the next generation, anyway. Solrock is a Rock and Psychic-type Pokemon, and so is Lunatone, for that matter. Both of these Pokemon have mediocre speed, mediocre HP, and decent offenses and defenses, but only on the physical end for Solrock and only on the special end for Lunatone. What's more, their learn sets are pretty identical outside of about 3 moves, but those moves do not play into either of their strengths in the slightest, and all around there's just nothing to be inspired by here. I would make the case that Solrock is the slightly better option here simply due to the types of TMs that they can both learn. There are a few good special moves, but the list of physical TMs they have is much higher. But that's only going to get the most out of what are, in essence, extremely average Pokemon with nothing much to offer outside of their typing, and even though Claydol is a ground and psychic type, I personally think it does the same job as these two, but much better. And this strength should do it, because Castform does not have the greatest defenses in the world, but yeah, that was a lot of Pokemon to go over, and I knew that was going to be information overload right off the bat, which is the main reason I didn't want to talk about this in the last episode, because that episode had already gone on long enough by the time we actually got here, so felt like it was better to save it for this episode. But okay, let's continue making our way through here. We got another Ace Trainer right here, but I'm actually going to go past them first, and we're going to head on into this house and talk to a couple people here. So, creation of Pokeballs made it possible for everyone to be with Pokemon. Yes, everyone. And then you. I'm really annoyed by what Team Plasma said in the past, so I live with Pokemon without putting them in Pokeballs, but Panpour doesn't listen to me at all. Well, maybe you should put it in a Pokeball, dude. It's probably your problem. In fact, you almost put 2 and 2 together there, but just missed it. Okay, this guy. Treasure hunting is fun. Sometimes things are buried in the sand dunes. Actually, I just found something, but it's the same one as I found before, so I will give this to you. Once per day, if you come out here and you talk to this ace trainer looking dude, you can get yourself one of the 5 types of flutes. I want to say it's random, but eventually you can go after all of them. Now, these flutes have 2 purposes, okay? And actually, I'm going to stop myself there because I forgot that they actually got rid of the actual tangible mechanic in this game. So my bad. These used to have an effect that you could actually do, where I believe red flute it got rid of infatuation. The blue flute awoke Pokemon that were sleeping. The yellow flute snapped them out of confusion. Then you had the black and white flute, which increased the encounter rate and decreased the encounter rate respectively. But I think maybe I have those flipped. I don't remember exactly. Anyways, it doesn't matter because in this game, none of them can actually do that. What they are used for instead is for selling to one of the collectors, one of the item maniacs who are available at one point in the game. And this specific maniac is the one that is actually in Lacunosa Town. Now, we're not going to really worry about them too much, but that red flute right there can be sold for 8,000 Poke when we go back there. We'll talk about how that's all going to be related a little bit later on. But for now, let's just continue making our way through the route. We've still got a number of things to go after, a number of items to grab. There is quite a few things. I also do need to do some surfing as we make our way around here. We got Basculin. Basculin, you know, and actually can be kind of strong at this level. So let's be as careful as we possibly can, trying to take this thing out. Every time I look at Basculin, I want to say it has rough skin, just like Carvana and Sharpedo. It doesn't, but for some reason it just always gives me the idea that maybe it should. I don't know. Aerial Ace this thing, just knock it out. Don't need to use strength again with how much I knocked it down. Perfect. Okay. Cool. So, and we're pretty much done with all of the items in the earlier part of the route, but yeah, there's still a lot left. Okay, we got Staryu here. Should I just keep... I think I'll just keep Challenger out. Why not? Get him to level 39, although he probably won't on this Pokemon. It'll probably be the next one. So let's use another strength. Light Screen. That's not going to do you any good against my Braviary. Are you kidding me? I mean, good try and all, but yeah, not going to do you a lot. And a one-shot. Okay. There we go. We defeated Damon. And again, just holding out hope that we can get Farina to level 45 before we get to Opelucid. Or at least level 44, so I can use that rare candy. I don't think I'm going to have an opportunity to get any rare candies before that, but I could be wrong. Nope, there is actually. So never mind. If we can just get him to level 43, I think I'll be happy with that. But I'm going to have to remember to actually grab that rare candy and use it in that circumstance. Okay, Alomomola, this is going to be a slog to get through without its actual weakness because of how little damage that does, and then it also pulls out nonsense like that just to ruin my ability to do stab damage, which I hate oh so much. Let's just keep using strength here, whatever, just get through them as much as we can. Oh my gosh, Alomomola, I hate you. Like, with words cannot describe my absolute hatred for you right now, and you're using Wish to waste my time. This is going to heal right after this, and it's going to suck. Oh my gosh, I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. And it's probably going to use it again as soon as I try to use strength again, isn't it? This is why I also can't use fly in this circumstance. I'm just going to have to kind of bank on a crit at this point. Water Pulse. Okay. We're not using Wish yet. Just don't confuse, please. Not very effective because you did make me water type. You did confuse. I hate you. This is so frustrating. Okay. You know what? Here. Let's just switch to Jack. Maybe I can use Force Palm or something and see if I can knock this thing down a peg. So obnoxious. Here's the Wish. Okay. Can we at least cause paralysis here? That would be ideal. At least paralysis. Wake up slap. Okay. That is a fighting move technically, so it does a bit of damage. This a war of attrition. If I had my Jolteon here, this would not be a problem in the slightest, but I don't have it. Oh my gosh. This Pokemon was designed to just be as obnoxious as possible. I hate this thing. Please, Paralyze. I'm begging you. At least Wake Up Slap isn't super effective anymore, but my gosh. I need this. No. And watch this Water Pulse confuse again, knowing my luck. Oh my... Dude. I hate this thing so much. Rock Slide, please knock it out. Thank you. Wow. That wasn't even like, I never for a second felt like I was being enriched or challenged in any way. I felt like my time was just like, that is, Alomomola is a time vampire. It sucked all of that away from me as much as it possibly could. That was so obnoxious. I have never in my life been so annoyed fighting against a singular Pokemon. Because these other ones, I feel like it's like set up to be that way. That was just like a comedy of errors and also just the worst possible luck I could have gone through. Like every single time, and the wish going over and over again, and my moves never quite doing enough damage. And okay, well, at least we're going to be rewarded with this. TM29 Psychic. This is a massive get. This is an amazing move, super strong. Obviously, it's the best Psychic move in the game. Can anyone on my team learn it, though? And the answer to that is yes. Both Johanna and Jack are able. Of course, I am going to be teaching this to Johanna as quickly as possible because he is desperate, absolutely desperate for something that's going to do a little bit of damage. We're going to get rid of Leech Life because physical moves are wasted on him. Now, you can see that Jack is also capable of learning this move. Let's talk about it really quickly. So he is more of a special attack specialist at this point. As much as I like having Bulldoze and Rock Slide in these situations, I think I'm going to leave the ground type moves to Farina for the foreseeable future, especially because he is getting very, very close to actually evolving. So I'm going to get rid of Bulldoze, and we're going to start slowly moving on to more types of special attacks in Jack's moveset. That is going to come to fruition even more a little bit later on. But for right now, let's just fight this Golduck. Okay, Challenger. This Golduck should be significantly less annoying than that Alomomola was. I'm not too worried about this at all. Let's use Fly in this situation. Why not? You're faster. I haven't been using it enough anyway. I really should. So I'm trying to think, when is Lucario going to learn? Okay, so he's not going to learn his next really good special move until level 51, unfortunately. So we're still going to be reliant on TMs for quite a while, but that's okay. We'll get him there. Once we put the experience share away, everybody's going to start gaining levels here really, really quickly. And we've defeated Fisherman Vince, so that's good. I think that covers everything in this area, but I could be wrong. Let's check this next island super quickly. And then we can circle back. Nothing here. Is there a hidden item here? Nope. Okay, back we go. Just glad to have finally gotten a move that I can actually use on my Volcarona. So if Psychic is effective in any way, shape, or form, I'm going to switch to Volcarona immediately and just use it. Because even though it is not super effective, or sorry, not super effective, not a stab move, it's still going to do a lot of damage because Volcarona's special attack stat is ridiculous. And like I said, we are going to get to a point here, not super soon, but at some point where we're going to be able to really teach him some better moves as well, I promise. Okay, let's grab that Pearl, and then we're going to make our way up the stairs here. And as we go up this way, there is a couple of areas we can go through. So we got some Pokemon Rangers over here. And do you see it? Do you see it? Here, I think also, are these Funguses? Well, we got a blue shard. So maybe, maybe not. I don't know. We will see. Let's battle this Ranger for now. I think this is actually pointing down to the beach over there. So I'll see if I can make my way over that way. Like I said, we still have a lot of ground to cover here. All right, Pokemon Ranger Diane. Larvesta, Flareon, and Vibrava. Okay, this is an interesting mishmash. Okay, Jack is in exactly the spot I don't want him to be in for this exact fight. Let's see. How am I going to do this? I'm going to shift with... Ooh, actually, let's do this. Let's do Psychic on Larvesta, and let's do Rock Slide on both of you, I guess. Yeah, that's probably for the best, because I really want Jack to be ice punching that that Vibrava, but this Rock Slide is going to do a lot of damage on both of them, because Flareon has very bad physical defense, so that's the one weakness here. Do that. Nice, nice, nice. Challenger move to the center. Okay, I still can't... Maybe, you know what? Honestly, I might be fine with just Psychicking the Vibrava here, Aerial Acing the Vibrava here, and then just, I guess, Force Palming the Flareon. Yeah, I don't even need to get the Ice Punch off on the Vibrava. I think it's just going to go down to these. Look at that damage. Look at that. Like I said, non-stab, and it still does all that, which is just awesome. So not really a problem for me. Get all that nice experience. Farina has hit level 43. Okay, I'm going to immediately take the experience share off of Farina. He doesn't need it anymore. He'll be fine. He's just going to have to wait it out a little bit longer. We're a couple of routes away from being able to evolve him. So everybody else can now get the fullness of all of the experience that they deserve, because at this point, I think it has been incredibly unfair for them to be lacking in this regard up to this point. So let's rip this away from you. You know what? I'll take that, but then I will give you back the Eviolite on the very rare chance that I might have to pull you out to use like Earth Power or something like that. So let's do that. You are the only Pokemon that can make use of it still. Anyway, all right, what's this item here? It is a Max Ether. Okay, so no Fungus is to be found. Let's head on over here. I'm going to save, because I think it would be stupid not to in this situation. Although, maybe I shouldn't have Braviary at the front of the party for this. It's fine. It's fine. We'll be fine. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're all good. For this part, I am going to actually put Tomoe at the front of the party. Well, actually, I'm going to put Jack at the front of the party because I am going to bank on the possibility that I can get a paralysis going here. Hello. Cabra! How are you doing, buddy? Let's talk. And ladies and gentlemen, just like in the first game, we are going to have an opportunity to catch ourselves Cobalion. That's right. Now, if this Cobalion is not caught, I should mention right off the bat that it will reappear after you have beaten the main game, and in the post game, it'll be at level 65. So something worth mentioning. Now, obviously, we all know Cobalion is Steel and Fighting type. It has the ability Justified, and it also has the moves Helping Hand, Retaliate, Iron Head, and Sacred Sword. Now, none of its moves, well, Sacred Sword is probably a little bit scary against my Lucario, but honestly, I think we'll be okay. I'm going to try one more Force Palm and see if this knocks it out. If it does, okay, we're good. And paralysis, that is what I like to see. Now it is time to start throwing those Ultra Balls. This is exactly where I wanted to have it. We just got to catch this thing before it ends up knocking itself out by overusing its moves, but it's got a lot of uses of many moves, so I think we will probably be fine. So I'm just going to start chucking as many as I can here, and then I think I'll switch to Tomoe to go on the defensive if it happens to knock out Jack. But Jack honestly did exactly as good as he needed to for this encounter. So now it is all a matter of just beating that catch rate, which eventually we're going to get. And also the paralysis are obviously going to stall this out a little bit longer as well. So another Ultra Ball. I'll just keep tossing. Obviously, if this doesn't caught in like the next like 5, I'll probably just cut to whenever it actually ends up staying in the darn ball. Now, I didn't just get all these Ultra Balls for Cobalion. There is another Pokemon that is going to be coming up not long after this that also needs Ultra Balls. So let's just keep throwing them. Eventually, we're going to get this, right? One shake. Nope, can't get more than one shake so far. That's okay. That's the move that's going to hurt. Sacred Sword. Down goes Jack. We're fine. Use the next Pokemon. I'm going to switch on over to... Actually, maybe I should switch to Challenger. Like, Iron Head and Retaliate are going to hurt a little bit. Mostly Iron Head, because obviously we're not satisfying the conditions for Retaliate too much. But Sacred Sword is not something I have to worry about, and that is its strongest move. So, okay. I'll do 2 more tosses, and then if it doesn't go in, I think we'll just call it. So let's see. I usually like to give myself an ultimatum here, especially because I know people don't like to sit here and watch Pokeballs be thrown ad nauseum at legendaries all hours of the day. But I do like to see if it happens a little early in the fight, and then it can be kind of exciting. All right, one more. And if this doesn't happen for me, then, oh, that's still a lot of damage. That's still a lot of damage. That still hurts a lot. Oh, my goodness. Okay, one more Ultra Ball. Come on, Cobalion, get in the ball. Right on the last one I was going to show. Perfect. That is what I like to see. We got it. Okay, I'm glad I didn't have to cut there. That's awesome. We got ourselves Cobalion, the first of the 3 members of the Oh my gosh, why am I losing my mind? The Swords of Justice. Holy crap, that took me a second there. So yeah, Cobalion is going to go after the PC. Obviously, we are not going to be using Cobalion in this playthrough because that would be mighty silly. Legendaries are incredibly overpowered and trivialize the game to an insane degree that I think would not be fair, at least in this type of run. Maybe someday in a Nuzlocke run, it would be a little bit more appropriate, but for now, I am not going to worry about it too much. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for this episode of Let's Play Pokemon Black and White 2. Thank you all so much for watching. In the next episode, we're going to continue making our way through this route. There are still a number of items left to be grabbed. There are trainers left to be fought. We're going to hopefully make it to the next town in the next episode, but we're honestly probably going to be cutting it kind of close. I will heal everybody off screen so that everybody is raring to go by the next episode. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode very, very much, and I'll see you all in the next one.